Liberia, a presidential representative democratic republic in Western Africa, is a country that exemplifies what it means to be a successful emerging democracy. With a president that serves as both the head of state and head of government, elected by the citizens, and now over 2 decades of peaceful transitions of power, Liberia has proven it has what it takes to become a full-fledged democracy. However, based on the Online Service Index, Gender Equality Index, and citizens' confidence in free and fair elections, we will continue to categorize it as emerging democracy. Liberia's main challenge right now is the lack of governmental infrastructure. Liberia has the institutions in place to take the country to a full-fledged democracy, but it does not necessarily have the manpower to carry out democratic duties in a transparent and ethical way. Two prime examples of this are the management of the Independent National Election Committee and the judicial processes of the lower courts. Liberia is a unitary state with a local governance being handled by a superintendent that is appointed by the president. Consolidation of power at the top makes it important that citizens' voices are heard in the elections that they participate in. Presidential, House, and Senate elections are won by 51% share of the votes cast. House and Senate elections were counted through proportional representation up until 2005, and it is recommended that a shift be made back to this electoral system to accommodate the 31 recognized political parties at play in Liberia. Even without proportional representation, 12 parties hold at least one seat in the House, making coalition forming a common occurrence. A switch back to proportional representation would only allow for more citizens' views to be represented fully in public office. The most recent presidential election, held in October 2023, resulted in a November runoff between incumbent George Weah and former VP Joseph Boakai. The ultimate display of Liberian progress was shown when incumbent George Weah succeeded to Joseph Boakai prior to the final tabulation of the results in the runoff. This was not the case with George Weah winning in 2017, when the election was just as close. His opponent chose to battle it out in the court, claiming fraud and campaign violations. At the time, the National Election Committee, NEC, did not have the funding nor the personnel to support the courts in a case that was unprecedented in the nation's history. Despite this potential for unrest, the country remained stable throughout Weah's tenure, but it is pertinent in the coming of future elections that the NEC has the necessary tools to handle legal challenges in both personnel and monetary form. Hand in hand with the NEC's lack of capacity is the courts. Liberian courts have a local courts and a Supreme Court, and those in larger of the 15 counties of Liberia are backlogged and have long wait times. Despite having a constitutional right to a speedy and just trial, Liberians are often waiting in jail for trial longer than their actual sentence would be. Both the stabilizing and alleviating of the NEC, in addition to reaffirming the court's responsibility to the people, can be done through building a more robust bureaucracy. In Liberia, a robust democracy is paramount for an effective democratic governance, judiciary reform, and national development. As a nation strives to consolidate democratic principles, a well-organized bureaucracy is fundamental to navigating challenges and propelling sustainable development. Beyond the judiciary, a robust bureaucracy is essential for effective policy implementation. Liberia's policies, crafted to address societal change or election issues, require an efficient bureaucracy to translate them into actionable initiatives. Additionally, a capable bureaucracy is instrumental in managing public resources transparently, preventing corruption, and assuring equitable distribution of the nation's wealth, particularly its abundant natural resources. A strengthened bureaucracy is not just about governance or judiciary reform, it's a strategic imperative for Liberia's overall development, from ensuring justice and effective policy implementation to managing resources and fostering economic growth. A well-functioning bureaucracy is a linchpin for navigating challenges and realizing Liberia's full potential as a democratic country in this world.